Greetings, folks, and in tonight's segment of October's recommended reading list, the theme for today or tonight will be Image Comics. And since it's October, we're sticking with the horror theme. And the first runner up in this recommendation list is Stillwater #1 by Chip Zdarsky, art by Ramon K. Perez and Mike Spicer. It's under the Skybound imprint, which is by Robert Kirkman. And basically, nobody dies in the town of Stillwater. And somehow they're going to find a way to make that scary. I did not read this copy because on the day that this came out, I was fortunate enough to get one, and it sold out quickly. So quickly it made the top 10 list in CBSI's hot list, if I remember correctly, for the week that it came out. And since it's by Chip Zdarsky and he's a up-and-coming, really awesome writer that's his work on Daredevil is highly acclaimed, I figured I'd jump on this. And plus, it's a red cover, and you all know how I feel about red. Red is my favorite color. But yeah, yes, Chip Zdarsky, Ramon K. Perez, and Mike Spicer. Pretty cool. Close up. Next, urban fantasy horror kind of situation called Bliss. So basically, the main character has like a really messed up situation with his wife and sickly child, and he has to make a really tough choice for his family, which is going to involve the death of other people so that his family is taken care of. And there's a drug called Bliss that supposedly takes your memories away. So if you have like bad memories and stuff, you're able to forget stuff supposedly. So yeah, urban fantasy horror kind of situation. The art looked really good. The front cover looks real good. So I was like, okay, I'll give this one a chance. And now they're up to issue 3, and I believe this is a series of 8. So yeah, look at this. Looks pretty sharp, by Sean Lewis and art by Caitlin Yarsky. Close up, yes, Can you blame me for picking this up? This thing looked pretty good art-wise, you know what I mean? Next is another urban fantasy horror kind of witch situation called Nomen Omen, written by Marco B. Bucci and art by Jacopo Camangi, or I just imagine it would sound Camangi. Anyways, red cover with Harry Potter owl on it. I kid. I fell in love with this cover when I first saw it, and I was like, okay, I'll pick it up, and I ended up picking up pretty much the entire run, and I'm going to be showcasing that run. I think I don't know if I should do it this month or just wait till I get the whole series before showcasing it, because it's only a 15 issue series, and I believe I'm on issue 11, so that should be sometime around next summer, perhaps. I'm thinking. It all really depends on what kind of content, how much time I got to put out content. But if I can, I guess I could showcase at least the first half by the end of for this month. In I guess celebrating the horror theme of this month. Okay. But I got a bunch of other really goodies. Let's take a little closer look at this. Apples. The fruit that Eve used to tempt, Adam with apples. And you're like, I want apples all over me. And next up, another urban kind of fantasy situation with influencers. And they look like influencers, right? It's called The Marked. And from my understanding, the protagonist here, she and her coven of people all got these tattoos all over them, but they're not just any tattoos. They're special marked tattoos that allow them to have magic powers that are soul destroying and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're into these tattooed witches, which I'm sure many of you are, you might gonna give this one a gander by David Hine and Brian Haberlin, who have done Sonata, I believe was their other project prior to Mark, or they were doing it in tandem. Wow, they have a lot of time to be able to do both at the same time. Crazy. At any rate, this is cover C. This was the retail incentive cover. This was the hot cover of October of last year, I believe. If not last year, yeah, last year, yeah. This cover was hot, and yeah, this was the thing, and I remember going, yeah, look, this Mark thing looked good, and then this was hiding behind the counter at the LC. I was like, hey, what is this? What is this that you have here? And they said it was the retail incentive cover, and yes, this cost a lot more than the regular covers. I don't know if that's necessarily the case anymore, because it was hot back then. I don't know if it maintained its hotness now. I haven't really checked. But at any rate, yeah, the cover on this bad boy, pretty popular. I think has to do with witches and broomsticks and thing. Plus it was October at the time-ish, so yeah. And next book we got is Killadelphia. And this cover is by Francesco Mattina. There's an exclusive virgin one out there, but this was the retail incentive cover. I'm not sure what the ratio is, but I imagine there's probably one in, like, 1 in 10 or 1 in 25. Either way, this was an expensive behind the counter copy too. And look at this. Look at this. The art here is spectacular. Yeah, reminds me of the Lost Boys, when the Lost Boys were hanging upside down and the Frog Brothers, or Corey Haim and Corey Feldman stabbed Bill from Bill and Ted. I forget which one is Bill and Ted. Well, but one of them was in Bill and Ted, the vampire in Lost Boy. You guys stabbed. I was like, oh no, not Bill. Oh, at any rate, yeah. The premise of this is a beat cop. His dad was a pretty popular, legendary detective in Philadelphia, and yeah, so he's out there, I guess, investigating or trying to find out, what happened, and among corruption and all the really bad things that happen in Philadelphia in general, vampires get somehow involved in this, and yeah, vampires. You know what's up. I'm all about that vampire life anyway. All the movies, I love it all. Very good reading. I'll be showcasing what I got for the Killadelphia next too. And last but not least, The Walking Dead Deluxe Edition. Now you're like saying, wait, isn't the series over? Yes, it is. However, they've released, they look like they're going to be releasing the entire run again in color. So you get to watch or read The Walking Dead all over again in color. Which, if you guys, for all of those who just watched the show and never read the comic book was black and white, and well, the innards are now colored. So yeah, this is basically the first issue with extras in it, and the cover I put this time around, I chose, I mean, out of the bunch of variant covers, was the David Finch cover, since it, to me, it looked the best. I'm really just a big fan of David Finch's art in general, and yes, it's under the Skybound imprint. Look at this. Look at this. This looks good. You know? Yeah, this was my favorite cover out of the bunch. And of course, I picked up the traditional one too, the one done by Tony Moore. I missed out way back in the day when, in 2000, this book, the original Walking Dead, first came out, and that day was a sad day for me because it sold out so quickly. I didn't get a chance to even get a copy, and what annoyed me, well, I guess it did, so I never picked any of them up because I missed out on issue 1, and it, you know, it was going for crazy prices already, and when you're a college student with no money, the idea of paying higher prices on books that you could have just picked up back in the day is annoying. So, yeah, I mean, and the cool thing was when before this, the first issue came out back in the day, Wizard did a segment, and I read Wizard religiously. There was not an issue of Wizard that I didn't pick up when I first started picking up Wizard. I'd rather have Wizard than comics back in the day because the content was just so good. At any rate, yeah, they said in that article that Kirkman said that do not invest in any character, emotionally invest in any character, because anyone is fair game. So yeah, don't get attached to anyone. And yeah, that's it. This is all I have for the October recommended reading for Image. Family Tree was gonna be one that I thought about recommending, but I don't know. Yeah, no, I just didn't feel horror themey enough, or at least seem more sci-fi than anything, at least in my book. But yeah, I already found good 6 for you guys to read, and yeah, so the next ones we're going to be doing, the next video theme is going to be Boom Studios, and man, I can't wait to showcase the issues that I'm recommending for that comic book company, because it's going to be good, and you will see why. Alright folks, that's all I got. Till the next video, ciao.